it's nice to finally be able to do a rebuild, if you will, of an actual decent team. But I will say something needs to happen, as despite how talented their roster has seemed for nearly like half a decade, maybe even more to be honest, they haven't been back to the championship round or even the Super Bowl. Forget the Super Bowl, actually, just the championship round in nearly 30 years. I mean, this is a team that you almost always think, okay, they're going to be in the playoffs. They'll probably win a one playoff game, if that, and then they're done. Like, they haven't even been back to the championship round, and this is an uber-talented roster. Of course, I will say their offensive line has been injured quite a bit lately. And the OGs of Travis Frederick, that's a name we haven't heard in a while. Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, they're kind of on the way out, right? Like, Frederick's obviously been gone for a while now. Tyron Smith with his injury history, Zach Martin with his age, those guys could be on their way out, which means that this offensive line is almost in the restart process. And it seems wrong to do, but I'm going to upgrade the dev of Tyler Smith. It doesn't seem wrong in the sense that, like, he absolutely deserves it and he's that good, but it just seems wrong. It's like, oh, he's changing overalls. It's like, it's fair, right? Like, Tony Pollard should be a superstar or better by now. Zeke should probably be normal dev. He's not really normal dev, but he's not that great, right? Of course, at least as good as Pollard, and it just seems like they're trying to do what they can to just make the contract they gave him look better. Defensively, Trayvon Diggs, you could almost argue could be a better overall than that. Last year, he was definitely being overrated by a lot because of the picks. Ironically enough, this year, the picks are down, but his coverage vastly improved. It was strange. I mean, I wouldn't say I've never seen anything like it, because it's kind of like Xavier Howard, almost exactly like, to be honest. But, yeah, I mean, strange, very good cornerback, obviously. Micah Parsons, you can almost make a case because of what he has to do for this team that he's maybe the best player in the entire league. And, of course, he's a 95 overall X Factor here with his age being only 23. He's a freak. He's just insane. He's insane. It's crazy to think, like, of course, Patrick Surtain is insane for the Broncos, but, that's who they were trying to get, right? Like, that was kind of like the obvious choice for them, and they got snuck on. Kind of worked out, though, right? Kind of worked out. Malik Hooker's a weird guy for me because you got guys like, Trayvon Mullen, Gallimore, other players, Anthony Barr, other players around the Madden universe where they're still star development trait, like Solomon Kinley is like a 68 overall starred guard. They have star still, whereas Malik Hooker's been pretty much at least good or at least average his whole career, and yet he's normal development trait. And he actually had kind of a plus year this year for the Cowboys, and yet he's normal dev. So it's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. It just makes no sense to me how you have guys like Malik Hooker, they're adamant to make him normal dev, where guys like, Trayvon Mullen or Gallimore, like, Solomon Kinley, those kind of guys. Who's the other guy? The Dolphins tackle. Those guys are still star dev, whereas some people don't even deserve to drop dev, and they do. Like DeMarcus Lawrence is star dev. They refuse to give him back to superstar, which he had a pretty good year. It's kind of strange behavior. Of course, looking at what we need to do with this team, though, a wide receiver 2/3 wouldn't hurt. Tolbert, I don't even remember if he played. And then Gallup, we know, has not lived up to the contract. Dalton Schultz is a good tight end, but I just don't think this team can afford him with the contract that Zeke has. Center could be an upgrade position. Once again, we have to pay attention to how Tyron Smith and Zach Martin finish their careers here. Of course, Tyron, I think, is a little bit safer at 31. Usually guys retire around 35 in Madden at O-line, but Zach Martin, he's also 30. I thought he was 32. I thought he was like a year older than Tyron. Okay, maybe we can get away with it. Real life, I don't know. In game, I think we can get away with this rebuild having those two guys hopefully still there, or maybe like a year or two removed at worst. At least hopefully. And then we'd really even talk about Dak, kind of the main guy who absolutely dropped a stinker against the Niners. But as a Packers fan, I know exactly how that can go. Maybe a little different scenario, whereas, the Packers game was, completely frozen conditions, and Rodgers had way less of his starters around him on both sides of the ball. But still, almost a similar type game. Didn't throw the turnovers that Dak did, but, missing wide open reads and, not throwing the perfect ball. It can happen. Obviously, once again, the weather, the injuries, a little different. But, yeah, Dak, he really just felt like a Geno Smith or a Kirk Cousins could have won that game. which I know I'm kind of like regurgitating a lot of the things I've seen on Twitter. Like, I've seen a lot of that on Twitter, those specific names. But that's kind of the way Dak kind of feels like. That's like Dak feels like a Kirk Cousins right now, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but the amount of money Dak's making, you're kind of hoping that he's a bit better than that. I will say, though, shout out to EA for finally adding the quote-unquote updated stats and the win-loss, and surprisingly, the draft picks. Normally, they kind of forget about that, but, you know, I was looking at some other teams, and they actually have the draft picks, like, correct, which is absolutely shocking. It's surprising. So, you know, thanks for that. Also, thanks for killing our franchises. That was really great. Let's see in this sim who EA thinks is going to be in the Super Bowl, which is the Eagles versus the Bengals. I mean, as of, like, you know, recent, those are two of the hottest teams. I think the Eagles are almost I wouldn't say a lock for the Super Bowl, because, you know, the Niners, I think the Eagles are better than the Niners, but any given Sunday always applies. It doesn't even matter if one team is the Eagles and one team is the Texans. Any given Sunday always applies. But when the teams are, you know, not evenly matched, but they're up there. You know, the Niners have a really good defense. They have a lot of playmakers on offense. All it takes is one fumble, one interception. You know, those type of games. I'd still say the Eagles are probably the favorites. And then the Bengals look really hot against the Bills. So, I mean, they have a chance too. This could be a real-life matchup. I think at this point, there's no one where I'd be like, oh, there's no chance that the Niners could win, or there's no chance that the Bengals could win. You know, at this point, it's like, I don't know, but this is who I would probably bet with at this point, especially with Mahomes being injured, kind of. But the Eagles winning 38-10. I could see it. The Bengals probably are maybe the weakest roster right now, which is crazy to think with that, you know, that offense they have. But kind of, right? Maybe the Chiefs, it's close, but yeah, I mean, 38-10 doesn't shock me at all. Dev-ups. Let's actually take a look at the dev-ups because, you know, they have the real-life stats. So there could be some dev-ups for our guys, which include CeeDee Lamb. I think I'm going to drop his dev, though, because we're using the updated rosters, and, you know, it's like we're basically getting 2 seasons out of them rather than 1. You know, we're basically like, these are the end-of-the-season rosters, you know what I mean? So we're going to drop that dev. And anyone on defense? No one on defense. Damian Wilson actually went up. Damian Donovan. Who the hell is Damian Wilson? I was about to say the guard for the Seahawks, but that's Damian Lewis. I don't even know. But we're going to fix those devs and then basically start anew. I'll let Dalton Schultz keep his because he's about to be a free agent anyways, and he probably did deserve the dev up. But everyone else, to my knowledge, was already this dev, even Bland, believe it or not, who just came out of nowhere. No, wait, was he? No, he was normal. Damn it. Kind of want him to be star, but I'll allow it. I'll go to normal. No one can cry now because all the other players, all the other teams are going to have their dev ups, whereas as we dropped ours. So the only dev we actually gained was Tyler Smith, who should be star already, but EA, for some reason, with the offensive line, is just so slow with deving people up. It's crazy. Like, you have to literally be God. You have to be Trent Williams to get a dev up as a rookie for an offensive lineman. You literally have to. It's crazy. And nobody's Trent Williams besides Trent Williams. That's the funny part. So Tony Pollard needs a contract. I mean, if I'm Tony Pollard, I'm asking for at least 8 per. A 5-year 40 looks pretty good. I like that. I don't want Zeke, but I have to have him. Dalton Schultz seems like a lock to leave. If he were to stay on a 6 per, I think both sides would be fine with that, but I think Dalton's going to probably test free agency. Offered him a 4-year 26. He said no. I'd imagine the tag is at least 11. 16. Holy crap. Leighton Vander Esch, a guy that I do not know. Like, he still had injury concerns, didn't he? But I will say, this contract, kind of fair, kind of not bad. 3-year 20? Okay, well, I mean, I felt like that was a fair contract. He said no. He is a free agent. Terrence, oh no. Terrence Steele, I suppose, if he wants to come back on a 2-year 18. Oh my God, these guys need to freaking play for a new therapist, because I'm going to traumatize them. I don't even know what that means here. Trayvon Mullen, didn't they just sign him? Wasn't it after they lost? So, like, I feel like they want him back. So, 2-year 6, I guess, for a 72 overall star isn't terrible. Obviously, he's not really a star. He's technically normal because he's really old for, you know, someone that needs to develop again. Cooper Rush, seen something. Who was it? Who was it? Was it Skip Bayless that said somebody's going to pay him and start him? I don't know. They may pay him. Maybe he gets lucky because they have no other options and he starts, but I don't think anyone's going to pay him to start him in free agency, you know? But, of course, that overall, you know, we started with an 85, we're now an 82, so it's not like we're just rebuilding the greatest team of all time. Some Eagles players here that they are going to be against it a little bit. I just don't see C.J. Gardner-Johnson being a free agent. I just don't. I think, but man, Miles Sanders, can they really not afford like one of them, let alone both? Because I don't know who you choose. Like T.J. Edwards probably asked for too much money for them to keep, and you know they kind of got lucky with him. So why not try to get lucky again? Deron Payne. There's some names here. I might actually have to mull this over a little bit. I didn't think there was going to be this many decent names, but there definitely is. And, you know, with my rebuilds, I try to keep it as realistic as possible. Like, I don't see the Cardinals, you know, getting rid of their only decent corner at this point. All right, so I tried to lowball Irv to a 2-year 9, didn't get him. And we did not get Javon Hargrave, but we got Bobby Okereke. He's a 3-year, $21 million deal, which, you know, is about what I was going to pay Leighton. And he's basically the same stats as Leighton, but faster, which in theory means that he could last a little bit longer, technically, I suppose. Other names that are still here, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I mean, this isn't a name that is guaranteed to be retained by Philly. Like, I would say they probably do, but it's definitely not guaranteed. So if there's an opportunity here for us to take him, I mean, why the hell not, I guess? So I wasn't even aiming for a guy like Julian Love, but he just kind of like punched me in the face with his interests, and I was like, you know what? 80 zone coverage, 80 overall, 25 star. I can live with it. Zach Allen, I'm a little iffy on because I don't think his ceiling's very high. Will Lutt's just kicker, so it doesn't really matter. And then Irv, I think, is just not going to happen. So unless I draft a tight end, I mean, our tight end's just going to suck. So I guess we'll try to draft someone. So I was kind of wondering why Steele is always in free agency, and that's because he doesn't like to re-sign. That's a sell. So we know what we need. We need a tackle, which Tyler Smith has proven he can play it. So worst comes to worst. That's the situation we're in. But center, tackle, offense kind of seems, you know, finished at that point. You know, wide receiver 2 obviously would be nice, but the money we're paying Gallup, I think we're just going to have to hope he just improves on his own. As an 81 overall, even though he's probably, 27? Yeah, 27 years old. He's not bad. So it's like, we would love to get a new wide receiver, but that's not the biggest need right now. We're just going to hope CeeDee Lamb can hold it down. Tight end, DT, tackle, I suppose. Those are the positions. That's what we got to deal with. And Jordan Lewis cannot be. I can't have this. I can't deal with this, all right? I can't have Jordan Lewis or Anthony Brown being any sort of starters. I've seen them too much. CeeDee Lamb, 5th-year option. Of course, he's elevating himself to an elite status, which means he's going to be asking for a lot of money. So to not have that process begin this season, where we're still kind of looking to maybe, you know, move off some money next year, like Zeke, if we can, gonna give him that 5th year. Obviously, it's cheaper in the long run. And speaking of cheaper, subscribing. It's free. Except for me asking, because that felt like a part of my soul just like ripped off. Now, I get Myles Murphy has kind of moved up the ranks a bit. I mean, he's always kind of been like top 5-ish. But could you imagine the Bears took Myles Murphy number 1 overall? Like, it just seems like at this point it's like their main options are Jalen Carter and Will Anderson. And if they're going to go Myles Murphy, you kind of feel like, unless they really feel like he's so much better than everyone else, which I don't see how they could, that just seems like a reach then, technically, right? Because like, you just get so much more, and you're a team that needs so much more. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have a lot of these guys, if any of them, on my list. But looking at these specific, like, 2 or 3 up here, specifically Jackson Smith, man, that's a hard pass. Like, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but his route running is, of course, elite as they come. So with us needing a wide receiver and it being really hard to draft wide receivers in the game that aren't, like, you know, fast normal devs, and he's, I would assume, at least star, man, that's a tough pass. And, of course, we don't really need safety anymore. If we did, probably go with Brian Branch or Antonio Johnson here. But I think at 27, we may go with someone like DeJuan Jones. You know, keep Tyler Smith where he is. Lock in a beast tackle. We'll say, though, Dallas likes their athletic guys. And, I mean, with his frame, he's kind of like guaranteed to not, quote-unquote, be athletic. I know for his size he probably is. But as far as, like, being one of those, tackles or linemen that runs like a 4.8 or something. That's not him. Don't know if I want to make that play. I don't know. We need linemen, but do we need one that bad? Tyler Smith can just slide over there, and guard's not, it's important, but you can live with it as long as you're not injured, which this team always is, sadly. The Falcons are giving me 42 and 74 for this pick, where I don't know if DeJuan will be there, but there's a chance. And I need more than just one lineman, especially when I only need one lineman. I might as well just grab one of the guys later on. They trade up for a cornerback that I think is actually a pretty solid choice. And we still see those guys there. Brian Branch, of course. Wow, could you imagine Brian Branch, 31 of the Chiefs? That'd be busted. Bengals with a... Huh? The Eagles, that's busted. Oh my God, these teams are landing some studs. I also absolutely forgot about tight end. I would imagine Mayer was long gone anyways, but completely forgot about that position. I don't know who the hell we're going to have, if anyone. Who do we even take? Zach Harrison is a little bit smaller. He's 272, but he is insanely strong, and I might make that play because of it. 36 reps at 272 is really good. That's probably 88, 89. Jacqueline Roy, though, we know these. The problem is we've done this class, right? We know these guys are all normal, whereas Harrison, I think, is at least star. I'm pretty sure he's hidden. So it's I'm getting a guy that's hidden that can make the argument to play that position because of his strength. And if not, he could play edge, right? Our right end position isn't the greatest ever. And I think I've talked myself into it. He is hidden. He's not the fastest, but 77 speed, 85 excel. It's probably DeMarcus Lawrence speed, ironically enough. So either he's going to play edge or he's going to play DT. And I know Micah Parsons kind of plays edge. It's a weird scheme. I went for players I think, or I'm going to be going for players that I think fit the scheme well. We're now at 27 in the second, and I got to admit, Andrew Voorhees is looking pretty good. Who else do we have? Mike Morris is still there, which means Zach Harrison might have been still there. The reason why I didn't go for Morris, you're what the hell? He looks way better. He is a bit weaker, about 9 reps weaker, so that 278 means less than 272 when the strength is 9 less, based on reps. Obviously, I don't know what their actual strengths are, but with this pick, I suppose unless we're going to trade down, Voorhees, I think, is the best choice here. 6'6", 22 years old, just athletic enough probably for that size, and he looks great. So Andrew Voorhees is going to be my choice. And he's normal, dude. That, it just kills me, because it's we've automatically lost at that pick. Unless he's a 77 overall, he's automatically worse than so many other guys we could have had. We're going to move to pick 10 in the third. I, once again, keep forgetting about tight end. That is one of them, Kincaid. Who else do we have? Musgrave. Luke Musgrave. He's 23, though, 4'6", I know this team likes a little bit of size there. Laporta we've had before in a rebuild, and he just never worked out, but I'm pretty sure... I think he's star, is he? We need a tight end, though. We can't just not have a tight end. And the best tight ends in the trade block are guys that are either A, really, old, or guys that just aren't going to be traded in real life. Okonkwo, likely, not going to happen. Not very likely. Had to say it. It's kind of my obligation. But I actually think I'm going to be taking a guy that is somebody I haven't taken before. I actually don't know what his actual position is, if he's an edge or if he's the size tells me he's edge, but the fact that he's so fast, but I don't know his power or finesse, but he's got really good block shedding, man coverage, tackle, and all that. I feel like we'll have a spot for him somewhere. Kind of seems like an alien, to be honest, but I'm going to take him. Dylan Horton. I imagine it's Horton, and maybe it's Hurton. I don't know, but 84 speed, 85 excel is a lot lower than I expected. However, hidden development trade. So I don't know where I'm going to put him, but yeah, that's about it. So I don't know how realistic this trade was. I feel like there's still, maybe not Jordan Lewis, but Gallimore's still kind of young. He's started. We traded Jordan Lewis and a 4th-round pick for 84 from the Seahawks. It's just I don't know what the hell their value is. At this point, the Seattle Seahawks, they kind of seem like they are not that many players off of being competitive. So trading off a 3rd-round pick to get multiple players and still a draft pick, multiple needs in a draft pick, that's not the worst. Laporta's my choice, Sam Laporta, and he is normal development trade. Okay, so taking him how many times now? Still think he's hidden, and he's never is. So, Either way, he's, for a third-round pick, he's better than what we were going to have. Ooh, I did not think of Patterson. That would have been a sick pick if he was there at 27. And honestly, I'm going to put Caleb Chandler at center. Baez, he's not hidden. Now, this is a guy I thought was guaranteed hidden. God, I am selling, but we got a couple of decent picks. It is what it is. And I want to trade up for a linebacker. I'm hoping none of them go soon. That's why I took that player there. Because I'm hoping at this rate, it kind of seems like, what is it called? And there he is. There's the guy I was thinking about. Brenton Cox and Henley would be there. We do need linebacker, right? I know we got one. Yeah, Clark is not terrible, but I don't know if he fits as a pure inside, so we're going to end up trading up for this man. 4 and a 5? That seems fair. It's the same round, so it seems fair to me. Also, I got to get better at these rebuilds. I get so hyped, and it's so much fun for me to do the draft and trade ups and that and building the team that I talk so much, and then the video is 4.5 hours. It's like, oh, this could be a long one. It's like a 10-year rebuild. It's like, oh, it's 3 seasons. What the hell is this guy doing? Henley is going to be our new number 2. This guy is hidden. I remembered him as hidden, but then again, I also remember Laporta and Caleb Chandler as hidden, so maybe my brain isn't the greatest at remembering things. Whatever, I'm going to use him. I don't care. Oh, he's not hidden. Okay, I don't feel as bad anymore. Man, to be fair, I mean, this class probably changes a lot. I don't remember last time I thought he was hidden, but he's still good. Rattler. Bringing on Rattler as the backup. I don't know when he's projected to go, but I just kind of wanted him just to have a quarterback there. It doesn't matter, though. Dak's going to be the guy for the rest of this because they're locked in. There's not really much they can do about it. And I don't know who this guy is, but based on his key ratings, he looks solid. Okay speed. 5'11", kind of small, but going to grab him. Feel like Dallas really needs a corner a lot higher than we took one, but I think we can work with it because Kelvin Joseph's a guy in rebuilds or in franchise where you're actually playing where you absolutely use him because of his, his build and his athleticism, and I think he deserves that chance here for us. Of course, looking at the overall, Zach Harrison's only a 73 overall. At least Voorhees, who's normal, is a 75. Horton's only a 70, but he's hidden. Laporta, we're going to have to get a new tight end. And honestly, I don't know if Caleb Chandler's even going to start for us. Henley will. Wicks probably won't. Rattler never will. And then this guy, I want to see if that pick went down the drain. Not terrible. Maybe the number 3/4. Maybe. I don't know. We got some players. We only lost ourselves a 4th round next year and a 5th round next year. I think we did okay, considering we were a late first type deal. All right, here is the roster for the first official season now. I would have loved to see a little bit better devs from the offensive line position, but Voorhees being a 75 overall normal, it's not quite the 77 plus that I was talking about, but the fact that he's normal, thank God he's got a good overall because he can be fine. He'll be fine. Center, we might have to replace, Sean Chandler with not him. Running back, Pollard's the starter with Elliott as the number 2. Wide receiver, probably going to be an idea to look at in the future. And then looking at defense, way better, right? We have Zach Harrison at DT, Horton at right end. So we have a very, it's weird because the interior is not the biggest in the world, but the edge, specifically with Horton, is pretty big, right? 265 for an edge isn't small, it's not huge, but Horton at 275 is pretty damn massive. Cornerback maybe needs to be fixed. Safeties, I think, are fine, especially if we get a dev up for Hooker. And then linebackers, I love it. So should be good enough to get back to the playoffs, but can we win a Super Bowl? The goal in this one is at least win a Super Bowl, and with the better teams, it obviously is to become a dynasty with that 5-year cutoff max. No, we needed this so bad. We needed that so bad. Time to pay up. Trayvon Diggs at this point. Wait, how much are we? 51 mil. Tyron Smith might be on his way out here. Gonna be honest with you. Trayvon Diggs is a guy you just can't let go, right? At this point, specifically in Madden, you absolutely can. In real life, we'll see. But in Madden, you cannot let him go. A 5-year 90 even is probably low, but good enough. Fair enough. Whatever. Tyron at 35 mil. We actually have more than I would have thought. He's good, right? But it's in Madden, what's even his sack totals allowed? We have 9 games through, and he's allowed 7 sacks, right? It's just, what do I do? What do I do? Malik Hooker's also 27, so he's a little bit older than I thought. I thought he was going to stay at 26. He's 27. but it's not the worst contract in the world, and he is very good for his overall. 3 year 21.6, that was max I was willing to do. And the rest are free agents, simply put. Even Tyron, I think, at this point, he's asking for, what, 26 per? Can I afford that? Not really. And even if I could, he gave up 7 sacks already. I don't know why I would want to. All right, iffy start, but really good finish with a 13-4 finish. But the Giants, who probably got a bye week on top of it, oh, that hurts so much. The fact that they take the division and they get the bye week by having the same record as us hurts. But a very good season for us. Really good season for the Giants, which is really unexpected to be that good. But like I said, pretty much that. Also, ironically, that Eagles game you see 0-28 against, that was a breakout game. So we would have gotten, like, I don't even know, was it 10, 15 KXP for Dak? Doesn't even come close. Who did they beat? They lost to us once, so it must have been like a conference thing. Did EA screw us, actually? I want to see. Division. Oh, they had the better division. Never mind. There it is. But still, we're obviously happy. Didn't change anything about the, playbooks or anything like that, scheme-wise, because the Cowboys are pretty busted in the game usually. Haven't actually seen them win the Super Bowl lately, though. And for some reason, Pollard, very bad yards per carry with Zeke being good. So, I mean, I get it, right? What they have going on for them in real life is a good thing, but I mean, in-game, it's just like Pollard's better, right? So, like, why wouldn't he play better? That's why I had him as a starter. I want him to develop more. Laporta is star development trait. Lamb already an X factor, adding to it. Tolbert was great. Gallup wasn't bad. It's a really good season for the whole team. Left tackle, I mean, it's just like, why, right? Like, I just don't know why I would pay a guy $26 million per to give up 11 sacks. Why would I do that? Parsons, 7.5. Lawrence, 10.5. Odigizua, 13.5. Zach Harrison at 7.5. And then Horton with a very low 3.5. However, in fairness to him, the sub right out is, or right end is Micah Parsons, trying to get him as many sacks as possible because he's good in, obviously, pass rush as well as coverage. This is technically still a 4-3. It's a very interesting team, I will say. But let's take a look at the MVP awards. Dak at number 2. We take it. CeeDee Lamb, Offensive Player of the Year. Rookie of the Year awards, who gives a damn. Quarterback, number 2, so he's a Pro Bowler, obviously. Pollard at 6. Wide receiver at number 1. O-line, Zach Martin at number 1 with Baidez at 7. We'll see a Baidez later because he's going to free agency. D-line was decent. Linebackers, decent. DB, not on the list. Kicker at number 3. But the playoffs, we take them. We will take them. I would have loved to have a bye week, which we probably should have had, but just barely lost it out to the Giants. Very high overall compared to the Falcons, though. 87 to their 81. This should be a win. Here we are going to the end of the game. 0-all, 3-0. They're actually doing a pretty good job against us. Oh, come on, guys. I get it. We're the Dallas Cowboys. We're the most cursed team there is, besides maybe the team we're actually going against. But please, dude. I still, even to this very moment, I believe we have a chance to win it all. Oh, we don't. They're at the 33-yard line. Never mind. Really, I'm going to play. It's on all Madden. I have sold before on all Madden. Let's actually see how hard it is. While they're in the zone, mind you. I did not change Laporta. To be fair, I didn't really look at any of the players. And I will say, that's a low, short throw at this point in the game. So it's kind of hard to tell. It's like, are they just playing back to not allow the quick score? Or was that just easy? I don't know. But here we are again. And that is an open player. Not the greatest throw, but gets it done. Sideline to the 12. Now, that's not a play that they're like, oh, we're just trying not to give up the touchdown. They didn't want to give up that many yards, obviously. 1st and 10 from the 12. CeeDee Lamb, back of the end zone maybe. Perfect time throw. Tolbert is in. I'm just saying. I'm decent. I'm a user. I'm not an AI, but, like, it's not that hard. It's the Falcons. What are we doing? And when you're down by this much, I think you get a little wild. Maybe you get a little bit more wild than you normally would. I think you try to get in here. I think you try to get that 2 points, so you're down by 9, and, things get wet and wild. Who knows what happens? And Pollard on the cutback, easily scoring. Down by 9 now. See if the Cowboys have a miracle in them. Oh, they might. Oh, I'm sure they get a 15-plus yarder to Pitts. Clock is draining, but there's a chance if I play this out. I don't think maybe we need a Super Bowl this early. Maybe we even deserve one. But I'll tell you this much. The Falcons do not deserve to beat us here. I'm sorry. And I know they show heart. But come on, dude. Like, our team is so much better than theirs. Damn, they move Lamb around a little bit here. Like, we don't have him as the number 1 at all. Laporta. Under pressure throw, too. I mean, didn't say it was, but it definitely was. Hurry up to the line. I don't know if we're going to be able to hit it again, but we'll see. CeeDee Lamb maybe to look this time. And there goes Wicks again. This time actually has some room to run. Who is this guy? This guy plays professional wrestling. Caught us somehow magically. It wasn't even Lamb or Wicks. It was Tolbert. High point, back of the end zone. Laporta sells. I just wanted to get that ball either in for a touchdown or the clock stopping very quickly there. But how the hell did that guy stop us dead? That's an out route. Lamb is not in the greatest spot here for the score. Oh, that's so bad, dude. Tell me that wasn't PI. The game never calls that either. Is that Cooper Kupp playing defense? What the hell is that? It was rap. It was a 4-letter word. I thought it was like, is it really Cooper Kupp? Tell me it wasn't PI and it was just them running into each other. Yep. Come on. Now, don't get me wrong. You might not have gotten it anyways, but the timing on this, you could see the way the corner or the safety standing there. I mean, we get that to the corner for a potential touchdown shot, and, I mean, even there he tried. Good job, guys. The best part of that is it's a base route. You know, I didn't create that. The game did it. And, of course, it's not the same situation, but would we have had the stop anyways? We would not have, so who cares? Well, that was a load of fun. Dak throwing 2 interceptions in that one, and it's just how you're going to lose games. Of course, run game, Pollard, not really great, to be honest. Laporta had a good game. I know we kind of added a lot of those yards, but, I mean, we couldn't have added more than, what, like 60, I'd say? 70? Even then, he would have had an 80-yard game, which is pretty good for a tight end with normal dev, and, you know, well, maybe he's now a star, but, you know, not the greatest in the world. But it is what it is. Another Dallas Cowboys type season. Obviously, the first of our actual, gameplay. Us actually playing. But still, another type of Dallas Cowboys loss in the playoffs. Who is the Super Bowl contenders and who are the winners? I mean, winners being the players on the team. He can only win one. The Giants having themselves a year. Bengals back in it for 3 straight seasons. This time, it's their day in the sun. And they win 31-24 over the Giants as a division rival. Thank God. DevOps, Laporta obviously went up in Dev. Tolbert, they could have maybe given him an argument for. Zach Martin, you mean it was an award win? Where's my X Factor? Defensively, what? Was Zach Harrison a superstar? Bro, he's X Factor. Wait, he's X Factor in this class. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Also, come on, dude. I hate forcing devs, but like, he had 13 plus sacks. What's his ratings before I risk getting yelled at by you guys for a player that's mid? Yeah, I'm not even going to do it. He's not that great anyways. He played well, but somehow didn't go dev up. No dev up for Kelvin Joseph means that we're probably looking elsewhere. Malik, no dev up is massive L. And Horton is a superstar. He must have already had that too. Okay, so we, in the D-line, maybe the offensive trenches draft picks, maybe not the greatest, but D-line, defense, we did well. A superstar X Factor and a superstar. Reminds me of our Raiders rebuild we just did. Obviously, this is a little bit different because, in theory, I could do that every time because now I know that they're superstar and X Factor, but I never drafted those guys before, so not a bad time to do so when we really needed it on the D-line. And, this is a team that's kind of in money situation here. And, we're about to lose our starting left tackle. And we already didn't even make a run out of it. So, this is an interesting one. This is a team that you kind of think is a home run hitter, easy Super Bowl win team. But, we went from an 85 down to an 82 after the first offseason. We're now an 86 overall, but we're pretty much about to lose Zeke. We definitely are losing Tyron Smith. Our D-line, Dak's not going up in overall. He's actually probably going down because he started as an 87. He's still an 87. That has to mean that he's just regressing, right? He's either not progressing fast enough or he is regressing, which he is. This isn't that home run anymore. It's kind of like, well, wait a minute. All right, so I actually decided to, in the end, pay Mr. Tyron Smith. I felt like the problems cap-wise will be mainly here after that 2-year goes up anyways. So I figured, why not just re-sign him? You know, Zach Martin's pretty much the same. You're not really losing, you're not really needing to spend too much money going forward here, right? If we want Dak back, it'll be a lot less than 52. If we want Lawrence back, it'll be about the same. Probably don't want him back because he's 86 overall. CeeDee Lamb, maybe 20-ish. Gallup, that contract is killing us. Micah Parsons, that's going to be the big one. Like, it might be nearly 30. So at this point, you really just need to save about 15 mil, and I think we can afford everything else. So depending on what's in free agency, might just be chilling. We might just be chilling. So 38 mil left after the signing of Tyron Smith, and wow, that is an interesting name. Nick Bosa. Can't really pay 2 edge rushers $62 million or $64 million a year, right? Because that's pretty much what we're asking or expecting at this point. One of the biggest needs, cornerback. A 1-year deal for Awuzie isn't terrible. We kind of do feel like this team is a win this moment, like win now situation. And if we feel that, should we not pay a corner right now? Still draft one, use them the following year? Because that's one of our bigger needs, and that's kind of like the only thing we can fill here. I don't think DT is going to be filled. It will not be unless you're going to overpay Ed Oliver, which I don't really want to. So if I can get Awuzie, if Gilmore is a little faster, I would have given him a shot on like a 1-year 15. I'm doing it. And we likely will. And he chooses not to join us. He chooses to go to the Falcons for 12.5. Cool. Avocado. Thanks. Which, speaking of, we actually don't have to pay Micah Parsons yet, so kind of right. I was kind of right. Keep a 90-plus overall left tackle, even if he's given up 11 sacks on the season. I still think EA values his overall. Once again, I've always talked about it. I'll continue to always talk about it until the sim gets better, but I think the game values overall over performance for your chance to win the Super Bowl. So that's basically that. So especially in a year where we have no 4th round, 5th round, I think even 6th round picks, we are going to be looking to trade down, as there's no one player, in my opinion, other than this Chapman guy, who I don't even know if is there. He is, that is really worth that pick, and even then that power move could be, a C or a D. I will say there's a very high chance that it's at least a C or a B. But very good block shedder. He's good, but for our position, we do want pass rushers more often than not. But the main reason why I wouldn't be going for him is I can wait for Grubbs. I wish Dane was a little bit later. Grubbs 6'1", 291. That 6'1" is a little scary, but it is what it is. We'll get Aaron Donald. Don't worry about it. But other positions like cornerback, Broyles and Weber, I think are both very similarly good. So you wait for one of them to go, and then you take the other. So if we trade down, I think we can land a DT, a corner, and with that extra pick, maybe 2 linemen perhaps. And I think in that case, I think that's the best case, even though I really like Chapman, like a lot. I could have probably taken off the 6th and taken off the 5th, but I wanted the 5th more than our 2 6th, so I ended up trading 24, 184 this, and a 6th round next year for 40, 72, and 136, which is pretty on par. It's maybe even slightly in their favor, which, I'm fine with because I'm trying to get value. They take a tackle. We go to 8, and depending on who is there, I may... Ooh, Gordon went. That's kind of scary. Actually, no, he was a 1-2, so I'm not even worried about it. Yeah, so we have 2 corners and 2 DTs. I think Grubbs might be better for what we're looking for, because Dane's block shed could be a C anyways. Oh, he's strong, though. They're both 21, 36, 488 versus 38, 486. Power and... I'm going to go power and finesse. Jamie Dane, and he is hidden. 90 strength, decently athletic. We take it. All right? I don't know what the other guy is. He could be a superstar, could be an X Factor. I don't care. As long as we get one DT that is at least hidden, I'm cool with it. And Broyles goes, which means I am trading up with the Browns. I over-traded a bit here, didn't I? Actually, 8 spots. 8 spots in the second for a next year 4th, especially when you expect us to be bad for a pick. That's actually not bad. That's probably really close. And Grubbs is still there. We don't need 2 DTs, though. We are going to be taking Kyle Weber. I actually probably preferred this guy more because he's a little bit faster. But Kyle Weber, probably going to be normal, and he is. 95 speed, though. 94 excel, 85 agility, 91 change of direction, 84 jump. Athletic freak, I mean, just like Kelvin Joseph, and sadly also 22, which means might not start right away. I don't know. We'll see what we're going to do here. I think Kelvin Joseph's out as a potential starter when you consider this guy's like literally just as good as him already. We now move to the 8th pick in the 3rd round, and we have a bunch of different guards. You know I love to pull the trade down until, last second kind of situation, but at this point, can I really be bothered? And I imagine a lot of these guys are going to go around the same time anyways, so I might choose between these 2 guys on the bottom because I think they're the 2 best. And with that strength, man, that pass play, like the power blocking, and considering he's a guard and he's not very athletic, is so bad, though. The Browns are willing to give us 80 and a 4th next year. It's not the greatest trade in the world for us, but at the same time, I think we might even be able to pick at that point, so as long as I have one of my guards, I will trade up or I will select. And I don't know if Stanton was one of my guys or not, but I'm just going to take the guy with the strongest power. I don't even care, even though he's got no power, ironically enough. David Lincoln, I think, is the most solid of the remainders, except for that center. That center looks great, and I might even take him in the 3rd because day 4 can mean anything. Day 3, which could be in the 4th. David Lincoln, though, normal development trait, strength of 92. I have been selling at an insanely high rate in the offensive lineman department so far, and it needs to stop. Of course, Kincaid is still there. Looks like a bunch of A's. I'm going to take them. Thank you. Thank you. We actually need a legit center as well, so it seems like our left guard position is not going to change, and our center position will. We have a speed demon in Rashard Daniels here in the 5th, so I'm going to grab him 4.26. We got a little bit of speed with Wicks, but he's not 97 speed, so that's our selection there. And then in the 7th round, I might just take the highest kick power kick power punter / kicker available because we are going to at least need a punter. Might need a new kicker as well because Lutz is going to need a contract. I don't know if I give him another one. I'm going to be honest with you. Kicker and punter, they all suck for kick power, but this guy at least has an A accuracy, so I'm going to take him. Will McClellan, 89 kick power. He's fast. McClellan, that's a mistake is what that actually is. And for the last pick, we're going to take an A run block at the fullback position. Normal development trade. Not the greatest draft we've had, let me tell you that much, but we landed 2 hit-ins, and I think the corner is going to be decent. I think he'll be all right. He is, where the hell is he? 74 overall, which is fair enough. DT's only 72. Lincoln 74, but he's normal. Kincaid's a 73, but he's hidden. Daniel 69, punter 69, and the fullback 67. Let's take a look at the punter. His accuracy was 80, which is okay. That morale is brutal. Obviously, because I had some choices, I have to take a look at the DT. We took Dane at 8, and the other guy didn't go until 24. Also 72, also hidden. Block shed, I imagine, is lower than our guy with his finesse being really high, though. His dev is star, which we can live with. And what was our guy's dev? I mean, I might as well check at this point, because I think he's in a star. How raw is he? 75 power, 70 block shed. I guess, to be fair, he's not much better than the other guy. Maybe he doesn't start over a Digazua. I don't know. But star development traits, so can't complain to me that, oh, you started him because you knew the dev, because you can't get any lower than star if you're hidden. And then I obviously want to see that corner. We took Weber at 16 with Broyles going 1 pick before us, 72 overall. Of course, hidden development trait. Like I said, a little bit slower, but he is hidden. If that dev's only star, though, I can live with it, and it is. Okay, so could have been worse, could have been a lot better, and O-line, who cares? Those guys I missed, almost guaranteed to be hidden at this point, but it is what it is. We win some and we lose a lot, at least this rebuild. Oh, I should have looked at Chapman, actually. Chapman went to the Falcons, also hidden, 75 overall, 81 block shed, but only 70 power move. Really good excel, only 70 speed. If his dev's higher than star, I'm going to be mad. Oh, that hurts. That hurts considering we really didn't do that well for ourselves trading down anyways. That's an L. Simply put, it's an L, but could be a lot worse. Could have landed a normal development DT and had to completely redo that position. But at least now we have our DTs for the future, I suppose. We traded Digazua and Damone Clark to the Browns for pick 80 in the third round. It could be Damon Clark, but there's like an N at the end, or the E at the end. It's Damone with an E. So it's like, I don't know. You'd think if it was Damon, it would just be the N at the end, but whatever. If I got your name wrong, I apologize. Hopefully you have good success with the Browns. All right, year 2 officially. The team looks pretty good. We got the center looking good. Problem is the offensive linemen that we've been kind of holding, Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, the costs and their age is really starting to catch up. Laporta was a really good rookie for us, so 75 overall star. Maybe he's got a future. We're not going to get too excited. Number 46, I'm going to just leave it at this point, even though it disgusts me just as much as it disgusts you. Tolbert at this point, he's just not going to develop. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just not going to. It won't even happen for Wicks either, in fairness, but at least Wicks had a really good year last season. Weber, please do not sell like Kelvin Joseph. Get yourself a dev up, and we're cooking. And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, why didn't you just use Bland? It's like, well, I did, kind of. He might even play safety for us. Should he actually just move to safety now? Because Malik Hooker is not going to be here forever. Be a nice backup. Why not? I suppose, right? We'll keep it now because he's got 2 years. He'll be fine for another year. Linebackers, Okereke might need to be fixed up soon. I think we're in a good spot. I think it just comes down to how much money are we going to have, and can we get a decent replacement for DeMarcus Lawrence, who maybe could actually be Zach Harrison if we find another DT. All right, here it is, spending money season. Oh, wait, so he'll be 34. There's really no point in giving him more than a 1-year 18 because he literally, like, all the linemen retire at 35. It's wild. A 4-year 112. I mean, I'm down to do like a one of these, a 5-year 145. That's great because that is not terrible money considering I was expecting more. Don't have a lot of players to resign, and Dak is like the final guy we have to pay, although there's a very good chance that we're done with Dak. I mean, he is asking for a tremendous amount of money here, and I don't know if that's true. Like, 87 overall may regress. How good was his first year? It wasn't crazy. It was good. This year is pretty solid, though. He's asking for a lot, dude. I don't know if I could pay a 3-year 130. That's kind of what it seems like. That's a lot of money. So I don't know what the franchise tag was going to be. Well, we actually ended up with a 2-year 88, which is 44 mil per, which is a lot, but he was asking for that kind of over 3, so to be able to knock that out under a 2 and not be locked in for life, kind of a win. DeMarcus Lawrence is definitely not up for a tag, but maybe we give him a 1-year deal. Actually, I might try to do a 1-year deal here. I think he'll be fine. Even after regression, he'll be worth it. 1 year, 15.5. I'm surprised he took it. It puts us at 25 mil left, but I think we can live with it. Similar to the first actual season, we kind of had a slow start and picked it up at the end, although I will say, literally at the end, we lost 2 in a row, which were really low-scoring games, which were very disappointing. But like I said, we were 2-3, 3-4 at that point. At 3-4, it's kind of like, okay, this might actually be a bad season. Did really well. Oh, actually, that game wasn't that low-scoring, but that one, obviously, awful performance. But regardless, a Super Bowl-bound team, perhaps, as we're still in it. Dak Prescott kind of earning that paycheck as he had himself a hell of a year, nearly 5,500 yards, 49 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Depending on the other quarterback interceptions, he may have won MVP. Pollard's yards per carry are up at least, and then obviously Zeke still somehow contracted. Lamb had an amazing year. Laporta could be superstar. Wicks was pretty good. Gallup was okay. Blocking, way better. Still not great, but still way better. And then looking at sack totals, a lot better across the board. 4 guys hit 10+. And one of those 4 was Dane, the rookie. So really good stuff there. Julian Love was decent. Where was the cornerback we had? I don't know what is like sacks. I don't know. What are we even looking at here? Tackles, I guess, would be the best way. Weber at 98. Really bad stats outside of that. But in a way, maybe it means that he just didn't get beat. I don't know. But really good offense. And no, number 3, actually. Lamar Jackson's an Eagle. That's fun, right? That's obviously super fun. Nick Bosa on the Broncos. CeeDee Lamb, Offensive Player of the Year, which is really nice. Rookie of the Year for Dane. Dak is back in the Pro Bowl. Running back, not even on the list unless I missed it. CeeDee Lamb at number 1. O-line at number 3. D-line at number 5, 9, and 10. Linebacker at 4. DB, not on the list. Kicker, not on the list. But some award wins, some close calls, and another playoff-bound season. The Cardinals are not CAR. It's the Panthers. Halftime score is 7-6, so a very low-scoring close game. 14-6 now, please. That's all I needed. Will it be enough? It will. 17-9. Really finishing this season out horribly. Just horribly. Of course, looking at the quarterbacking, I mean, just not great, but at least Dak Prescott put up a touchdown, I guess. Pollard sucks in sim. He sucks. He's awful. He is so garbage. Honestly, if we would have started Zeke, we may have, resurrected his career. We actually might have. But I was like, you know what? Pollard's younger. He is, he's playing better in real life. He's my dude. Sucks in sim. I don't know why I expect him to be good. He's always bad in sim, despite the fact that he's super fast and he's good at juking and all that. He's just trash in sim. I don't know what it is. EA hates him. The EA must be being paid off by Jerry Jones because they don't want to look dumb on the Zeke contract. They're trying everything they can. Even in Madden, they don't want to look bad. But here we are with a game at home because it's the Giants, who are even lower than us. Glad to see Justin Herbert's there. Awesome. Super real. And no, your calendar's not wrong. This is basically February now, and that is still a thing. Justin Herbert goes to free agency. That's right. In the 90s. I know. That's crazy, but here we are. 17-10 is the score at halftime. A lot better than last game, but still giving up too many points. Giving up too many points. It's not the defense's fault if we lose. I'm just going to say it, but we are giving up too many points regardless. Touchdown, but there's 2 minutes left. They got Herbert. And they do not anymore. Trayvon Mullen, the guy that most people do in a rebuild, probably would just let him hit free agency. I said, you know what? They kind of signed him late. They want to give him a chance. We gave him a 2-year $6, and he has us in the championship game for the first time in basically 30 years. Look at the numbers. The defense really carried this one, forcing 3 interceptions from Herbert. Of course, we talked about Pollard being trash in sim. That still remains true. Chark, I mean, look at the receivers they had, and we almost got outscored. Come on, dude. Please do better offense. Sack totals, good for DeMarcus. Some youngsters, though. Mullen, he's not really a youngster, but you know what I mean. Weber with a pick. Okereke with a pick, which is nice. Kicking was fine. Championship round. We are playing far from perfectly right now. If we find a team that's, similarly stacked up like we are, we may lose. But then again, we did just give a super challenge to Justin Herbert, so maybe not. Maybe not. Let's go with elusive back. Maybe he finally gets the 90-plus juke move. I'm sure that's going to change everything, right? Which he doesn't, but that is a really good upgrade anyways. 90 change of direction now. New territory. Here we are, championship round. Of course, NFC East is repping in the Super Bowl no matter what. What is our breakout? Please be Weber. Ooh. Win or lose, we may have a massive situation in a positive way on our hands. And let's hope that's the case. Come on. All right, here we go. Winner of this is the true champion of the division in the NFC. They missed the extra point. Could you imagine? They're the ones that lose on an extra point, not us. It's 2-point deficit, 5-point deficit. Up by 3 they are, so I guess it doesn't matter anymore. They get a field goal. Touchdown gives us a 1-point lead. With 4 minutes left, they're driving. There is now a 3rd and 1 from the 34-yard line. The clock is dripping. The clock is really dripping. They have said, you know what? We're taking these timeouts to the next round. We want 6 timeouts to start this. Oh, you can't do that? Oh. Well, why are we saving the timeouts? That's a great question, EA. Great question. Gallup gets a nice first down and then some. A field goal wins it. So, first thing they decide to do when they're barely on the edge of field goal range is run it. That's a really good call, guys. But you know what? I have a better idea. Let's get a little closer. Let's maybe try getting a little closer. Even something like this. It's not that bad. It's not great, but it's a lot better than a run, in my opinion, personal. Now you want to run it? I mean, even now I think it's too early. So let's not do that. Let's actually say screw that, and let's throw to someone else. Oh, is CD Lamb open? Okay, I guess that makes sense. Can we hurry up to the line and spike it? Oh, we can. It's crazy. Now you want to run it? Maybe. But if you have big balls, you go for the jugular and try to win it right now. I don't give a damn. CeeDee Lamb's getting to the end zone here, and you're not going to stop it. No matter how you look at this, it's a CeeDee Lamb. No, it's not. It's not. And Gallup is blind, sadly. Okay, with that pressure, now I'm starting to think maybe we should run it. Let's just run the ball. Why not? I don't know which way this kicker prefers the kick, but it's right down the middle. So complain, I don't care. It's a 40-yard field goal, and okay, for a second they let me skip it. Let's see if he can hit it. I don't know. Clock expired. McCarthy looks happy. He didn't push a cameraman down. I think we're headed to the Super Bowl, baby. And we are. What a close game. Dak kind of shined through for once. Pollard was ass. Oh, my God. I have never seen a 90-plus overall perform this bad. Why does EA have the rights? Do we know? Do we know? I mean, besides money, like other than that, because like other companies would probably pay top dollar for the rights anyways, right? So like, why do they still have them? That's strange. Like, explain to me how... Ooh, Weber. Ooh, Weber. Come on! He's just like Kelvin Joseph! It is what it is. We're in the Super Bowl. Maybe he's a star dev now. I don't know. Maybe he got a dev up from 98 tackles. Whatever he had, 88, 98. But, like, how does Pollard only have a 10 for 5 performance? That just makes... Oh, my God. If we don't win the Super Bowl here, it's doomed. If we don't win the Super Bowl here, first season, even if we do, if we win a Super Bowl, that's going to be it. Defense, Weber doesn't go up in dev, but thankfully, Lawrence does, Dane does, Love does, Okereke does, and I didn't pay attention to offense. Laporta does not. But yeah, I mean, how does this guy not... 10 for 5? I could run 10 straight inside zones. I'm getting at least a yard each, even if I ran it directly one after the other. It is what it is. CeeDee Lamb, he has been great. I don't want to look at his ratings because we always look at all the ratings at the end anyways. And I've heard that physical's pretty good. Ooh, 3 to trucking and 3 to jumping. That is interesting. Those are traits that are crazy. How do you get 3 better jumping? Is it like a jumping school you can go to? Because I need it. All right, 7 to 7. Can it happen? Can we win a damn Super Bowl? 13 to 7. 14 to 13. Oh, I thought they were going to score before half. We should have been the ones, and we didn't, and they almost did. It's all tied up. This Titans team's 9-8. Doesn't look that good in my opinion. Apparently is very good, and if they had a chance, I would have watched it. But guess what? We are Super Bowl champions with the Dallas Cowboys. So this is a rebuild that will end in 4 seasons. Because my definition of a dynasty is 2 out of 3. Even though I'm pretty sure dynasty technically is like 2 out of 5 or 2 out of 10, which is like, I mean, what do you want to give everyone a dynasty? Like, come on now. But that's my definition of dynasty. True dynasty is 2 out of 3, not 2 out of 5, not 2 out of 10, 2 out of 3. Suck it, you know? That's all I'm going to say. So 2 more seasons at max, maybe less. If we win back-to-back, that's good enough for me. As much as I love to have a successful rebuild, I don't want to see the Cowboys win 3 in a row. Come on, like 2 in a row is already enough, right? Like, come on. But looking at this, does David Parks, guys, a rookie, and he kind of outplayed Dak. You know, considering they had more total touchdowns. I mean, Pollard sucks, but he had a really good game for once. Receiving, Devontae Parker was... I mean, they still don't have wide receivers. We struggled against a team that still doesn't have wide receivers. Oh, my God. Parsons is a god, and Will Lutz missed 1 out of 4, but that's fine. Still can't believe we can't get a damn dev up for a corner, dude. It's 1 tackle for a loss, 1 sack, 1 pick, 1 fumble, 1 recovery, anything. And we just can't get 1 dev up. I get it. To superstar is hard, but to star we can't do. 50 mil, though, to spend, and other than special teamers, we have everyone out of the way. Don't get me wrong, I love that Trayvon Mullen had that pick on the way to the Super Bowl, and it was clutch, but it's time to move on. As far as Kelvin Joseph goes, though, I mean, it's not bad money, right? 2.4, a 2 for 4.6 is not bad. Everyone else, a lot of backups in here that do kind of matter, like Mukuamu's not bad. What's his zone? If it's like 75 plus, I might grab him. Okay, he sucks, never mind. You're 6'4", 55 hit power. What do you want from me? Like I can only do so much, right? Like, and I can only do so much convincing. And with his age, Will Lutz is at least another year, maybe 2. I'm fine with giving him a 2. Wow, that's actually a lot of money. What am I doing? A 2-year 7.4 is fine, and then Anger We got a punter, but his accuracy's good, but his kick power sucks. He's about the same as the guy we have here with Anger, though, so it's like, might as well just rock the rookie or get a new one. All right, so 50 mil in cap, but you have to consider the fact that we will have to pay Parsons around 30, so that's 17 mil. I will say, though, I don't know if I'm going to sign Tyron or Zach Martin because they are likely going to retire. Elliott, oh, he's got to be releasable now, right? Okay, so we could probably trade Elliott off for like a fourth. Who doesn't want that for a fourth? Like, that's not bad. So we're going to save some money. Honestly, we could spend about 30 mil and I'd feel happy. So we're going to do 30 mil, and DeMarcus Lawrence, we gave him that one-year deal, which is awesome because he is a superstar dev now, which is pretty cool. So he's actually very good still. He's awesome. I love him. You guys remember how much love I had for DeMarcus Lawrence in the game. I thought he was one of the best pass rushers in the entire game. We trade Zeke to the Cardinals for pick 99. All the AFC teams had good running backs, and I was not trying to give them away to the Bills. They were the only team that kind of had like a bad player. It was like A.J. Dillon. He's like an 81 overall. So, yeah, an NFC team, sadly, but a fourth-round pick, and a very good one at that. Here is free agency. Lamar Jackson just took actually didn't take the Eagles to the Super Bowl, but close to the Super Bowl, goes back to free agency. Waddle, very good player. Don't see how he'd be a free agent. Aaron Jones, maybe, but we don't technically need a running back. Tyson Campbell, there's no way they let him go. Isaiah Simmons, still listed at safety, is interesting because our safety position sucks. I mean, what is that, a 3-year 41? Is that something we could do here? We can, but he's not that interested, and I'm not really looking to pay that much money. It sucks because Malik Hooker is really not that great at this point, and it's not really much of an option other than maybe taking the risk that James Bradbury could play free safety for a year, which might be possible. He's got some good hit powers. Tackling kind of sucks, but he is a pretty good player. I mean, you take that chance, and even if you can't play it, you just put him at corner because we need a corner regardless. So NFC East teams just, NFC East teams just taking this guy for a spin. What else can I say? Not going to get the young option, but if we got him, which we did, we get a good option. He is an 84 overall. What do it look like at free safety? 82 overall. Looks like we got ourselves a new corner, boys. Tyler Smith needs a 5th-year option, but he is probably worth just paying because his overall is not that high. So at pick 18, or 17 actually, the wide receiver I wanted, he was 6'4". His name was Deloach, had went, and now it's pick 32, and I was kind of just willing to take whoever rather than trading up. George Wilkerson. He's pretty fast. He's got an A deep route, B catching traffic. However, a D catching, F medium route, D short route. I don't normally go for these types of players, but he is fast. I was debating it, but I don't think I can. I don't think I can do that. I'd rather go with Brandon Brown, who actually looks like very similar, except his deep route isn't as good. At least I'm not going to go crazy. Maybe we trade for a wide receiver. Yeah, we could do that, actually. We have some money. Do we trade for a wide receiver? Typically, teams like to do this before the draft starts, but we need a true number 1/2. Obviously, not number 1, but you know what I mean? A new number 1 type, but at our number 2, because Gallup is just not getting it done, and he's an 82 overall. He's slow now. He's not the greatest, right? He's not the greatest. I have settled that I will be going for Titus Reynolds, as wide receiver is near impossible to trade for. So a strong, fast Titus Reynolds, who will likely be the starter for DeMarcus Lawrence following this season. He is hidden, 83 speed, 87 excel, or strength. Looks really solid. He's like Zach Harrison if he was a lot faster. It's really all I can compare him to, and I don't imagine he's going to be X-Factor like him, but still, it's a good player. We traded 64 and 96 to move up to 43 to grab that cornerback Roth I seen. Don't know what his dev is, but he had a B in man coverage, and he looked pretty athletic, so I'm going to take the shot on him because of those things. Also, A catching, 21 years old, taking the risk, and every time they're normal, dude. He's the new number 3 with Bradbury playing number 2. I have sold so much in this draft, in the draft process. At certain positions, O-line and corner has just not been kind to me. We are at pick 4 in the 3rd round. We are going to be taking Kevin Brock now, who is 6'5", 328, and finally a hidden development train lineman. But once again, these are kind of like preventative type of players, so it's cool to have them, and they're hidden, and we're probably going to use them at some point, but it's like a bit late, right? Like, we've taken a little bit too much time to get to where we are. And I don't know if I want Zachary Barnes, but Lowry, a running back, looked really solid. A break tackle, A carrying. I don't know if he has okay stiff armor trucking because it's B to D, but considering he's 229 and that fast, I'm going to take the chance on him. Casey Lowry, normal development trait, sadly, but I imagine that stiff arm and truck has got to be at least 75 plus. And I'm going to take the shot on Brandon Brown just because of that catch in traffic, just because he's 21 years old, and just, I was about to say, because he's hidden, and he's not, sadly. The wide receiver I wanted is gone, but honestly, it's late fifth. Do I not just take this guy as well? Another trucking type. I mean, why not have enough backups? Normal dev. Why not? Why not? All right, so that right end, very good. 76 overall, the cornerback, not bad. 75 overall, Brock, 73. Lowry was decent. Brandon Brown was okay. Running back was okay. And this safety I took, which was random, was terrible. And we may have seen ourselves a generational quarterback. 99 throw power, huh? So the Rams got themselves a fresh, young Matthew Stafford. Likely, actually probably not generational if I had to guess. Superstar, though. Very good. Very good. Let's see if there was any other high overall players. And there was at 15 to the Jaguars, Dante Rivers, who may be the best running back I've ever seen in Madden history. 97 speed, 96 excel, 91 stiff arm, 93 juke move. Wow. That's a good play. I wonder if he's an X factor. I wonder. He's literally better than Pollard already, especially since he'll actually probably play well. That's insane. And of course, Deloach, the guy I wanted, 72 overall, hidden development trait. A bit raw, kind of reminds me of a slightly, well, maybe not slightly, but taller Gallup, but obviously younger. What is the dev? Only star, so I don't really hate it. And then the speed wide receiver, we were kind of thinking about taking at 32, actually went in the second round. Wilkerson, 74 overall, also hidden. Very raw on the short and medium, specifically medium. If he's not better than star, I guess we dodged a bullet, but I mean, realistically, I mean, our players really... You've gotta be kidding me, dude. Considering where we are at wide receiver, that may be one of the worst misses I've had this Madden. It really might be. It really might be, especially considering we took Roth at 11. Like, normal dev versus X factor. Position not of need, position of need. Oh my, you know, on top of it, I had Sap on my list. Yeah, he's hidden. Why not? Let's take a look, see if he's a superstar. Why not? Why not? He's probably a superstar, right? Just to make me feel worse? He's not, but still, it's pretty annoying. Please tell me, because we would have taken him at 32, that this Reynolds guy is a superstar or better. If he's a superstar or better, I'll feel a little bit better, but once again, we needed wide receiver the most, so even if this guy's an X factor, it was a bad decision. Which, of course, he's not. All right, Season 3, but it could very well be over right here. We said if we, you know, win back-to-back or 2 out of 3, you know, we're done. But obviously, if we don't get it within the next 2 seasons, I'm done anyways, because then it would be like a full, like 3 years apart. It's like, who gives a damn? You know, who cares? I want either 2 out of 3 or just 1 throughout 5. So it's like, we got our 1. If we don't get 2 out of 3, then it's done. I mean, simply put. But obviously, Lamb, believe it or not, is actually the highest rated receiver in the league. He's number 1. And the way he's played, it makes sense. He's putting up like 15 to 1,800 yards a season with like 15 to 20 plus touchdowns a season. Short route could be a little bit better, and because of his build, you would think it would be. But other than that, he is damn near maxed, which is really impressive. Wide receiver 2 has sucked this entire time, to be honest. Number 3 has done a decent job. Tight end's been great, though. Got to give it to him. And, of course, Dak has been really good. Pollard sucked. Just to be honest, he's sucked. O-line's obviously great, but this will be the last year of the right guard and left tackle. Same with Lawrence. Last year of him, and Horton really hasn't, you know, heard a who. Like, his overall is not great. It's a 76 overall. He's now 24. Despite, are they like raising his zone coverage? I mean, he seems really good with the green. I don't understand. Like, I don't know how he's not a higher overall. Although it actually might make sense because I think Micah might be taking the majority of his snaps. This is actually the first breakout, camp standout I've had this entire rebuild, and it's a success, the first try, at least the first one. All right, this is going to be a weird year, 123 mil, but a bunch of players that we don't know if we want to keep, because these two guys may retire, and I don't want to pay guys that are going to retire, you know? Micah Parsons, it's like, whoa, a 5-year 100, that's a great deal, but let's be honest, that's nowhere near what he's going to accept, so I'm just going to get this thing rolling at 5-year 115, and he takes it, which is a win for us, a win for not him, but kind of. Tyler Smith will get a contract. Okereke will probably not. Bland will, but I think we still should try to get a better free safety, who I don't know if I mentioned or not. We've moved him to free safety. Of course, Smith has been a really good tackle for us, considering Madden sim issues with sacks allowed, so a 6-year 95 is a steal for us. And then Bland, I mean, even at like a 4-year, like 14, that's a steal, even if he's just a backup. So I have no idea what's happening here, but the entire division, even us, sucks. I'm not going to click the last hurrah because it's an unrealistic, like, kind of statement. Sure, maybe, you know, they do that in real life, I guess, but it's not realistic that every single time, you know, at 34 years old, the old lineman is ready to retire at 35, right? So I'm going to see if maybe they'll just stay if I don't click that. Dak was amazing. Pollard sucks still in sim. Lamb has been great. Laporta, another really good season, but hasn't gotten to superstar. Gallup was better than usual, 1,000 yards, and then Wicks at 900. So good group effort again. O-line was solid. Sack totals, Parsons 11.5, Harrison with 11.5, 9.5 for Lawrence, 9 for Dane, and then Horton. How much is he actually playing? Yeah, he's not getting much play time, so I mean, you could have maybe argued, do we even need a new replacement for DeMarcus? You could just put him there, and he can finally get his career on the roll, if you will. But Will Lutz, really good, only missing 1 out of 19. But Horquez, the new punter, 50 yards per punt, which once again makes me feel like, why did I pay a real punter? MVP, still not Dak with that season. I don't know how, but apparently that's the way it goes. I guess CeeDee Lamb Offensive Player of the Year again for like, I don't even know how many times now. Best wide receiver, and ironically enough, best kicker Maher. Like, what are the actual odds? But here we go. Going against the Buccaneers. 90 overall for us, and an 86 for them. I almost made a play at Godwin and or Mike Evans, and just didn't. Can we win back-to-back, or are we going for a 4th season? About to find out. 3-all starting the second. 10-3 now. Really nice drive here. 17-3. Defense doing its best. No score there. A safety. The offense is so bad, they're giving them points now. 20-8, starting the 4th, and that should be enough to win it. Defense has been amazing, holding them to 8 whole points, technically 6, considering 2 came from a safe. Anthony Richardson, the quarterback for them. I have no idea how well he has developed, but doesn't look great in this one. Lowry got a bunch of carries, but Pollard finally looking, I can't say he finally looks decent. He had a 51-yard run. He still sucks. 9 for 20, basically, without that big run. Oh my, dude. Pollard is so bad in sim, and he always has been. This is like the best he's ever been in game, and before then he sucked, now he sucks. Unless he becomes a trucking back somehow, I don't think he'll ever be good in the game. I really don't. Also, I learned the way that they developed Zach Harrison. Yeah, he's not playing edge. He's the DT. The divisional round. Let's see what we're looking at. We have the Falcons. 5 overalls on them. Come on, Dallas. Back-to-back? Can we do it? The Cowboys, if we make it all the way, will not be facing the Titans as they have lost to the Bengals. 14-7, 14 all. Nice offensive performance so far. 21-14, 24-14, 31-21. This is a very high-scoring affair, and that's got to be the dagger. There's no way they can get to 40 points, right? And even if they do, it won't matter as we have 41. Not a great defensive performance, but an amazing offensive performance. Finally carrying that side. Ritter, the quarterback there, I don't know what his dev and all that is, but played all right. Dak was just quite a bit better. Pollard, yet again, really bad, but for him, that's amazing. Miles Sanders, really bad performance because you take away the 71-yarder, and you're looking at a 9 for 15 performance. CeeDee Lamb was amazing looking at the defensive stats. Zach Harrison, though, 2 sacks. Same with Lawrence. Maybe he was the last hurrah, actually, but I think he's 33, so I don't think it would have been him. I think it is one of the linemen, if not both. Championship round again. And it's the Niners. Oh, my God. How bad have they been beating up on people? How bad have they been beating up on people? Did they have a bye week? Oh, Lord, they had the bye week. They're the #1 seed. Only won by 7 to the Vikings, though, so maybe we got a chance. They're very high overall at 88, maybe the highest team we faced. Still not as high as us, but that don't matter. Here we go. Winner faces the Bengals. They're off to a really good start of 10-0. 13-0. We finally get down the field. 7-13. Defense is doing what it can. We will not be up at half. 21-20. Quick bursts of scoring from both teams. Defense makes a play, up by 8, and that'll be the win to send us back to the Super Bowl. Who even was their quarterback? It looked like a really good player. It is Austin White, who played like trash. Dak with another really good game, but had to throw that pick, didn't he? Pollard improving, I suppose. Improving. CeeDee Lamb has been amazing. He's literally the best wide receiver in the league. Fair enough there. Interceptions. Tyson Campbell went to this team. Trayvon Diggs and Henley with interceptions. Kicker was perfect. What else could I ask for? It's a back-to-back Super Bowl trip. Here we are facing off against the Bengals. Before then, let's take a look at our DevUps. Laporta? Yes! Laporta is an 84 overall superstar dev. He has really developed nicely in this one. Speed never really got going, but his short route, medium route's great. Catching's amazing. Catching traffic's amazing. He's a really good tight end, and he's wearing number 46. It's disgusting, but at this point, it's his good luck charm. Dak is an 89 overall, but I imagine he's going to regress. Defensively, it looks like a new dev up, but I don't think it is. Love was already superstar, right? So, was Dane not superstar, actually? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. No, it's not. Who the hell is it? Wait, was Dane already a superstar? Or maybe, who am I thinking of? Reynolds? I don't even know, but it looks different. It's not. It is what it is. We're here. The Bengals, who are an 84 overall. Joe Burrow is still there, so why is that overall so low? Is that their defense sucks? About to find out if they actually are a low overall. They got 7 points out the gate. 7-3. Good defense. Getting a field goal. Good defense again. Getting a touchdown. Getting a touchdown again with a good defense. Defense is crushing it. Offense is taking opportunities. 34-7. That's a GG already, baby. 41-10. Look at this team. Not even giving up the points at the end, even though they could have if they wanted to. 41-10. Cowboys over the Bengals. They have won back-to-back Super Bowls. They are a dynasty. We won't hear about this. We'll keep hearing about this until the next 30 years when they finally get back. Sorry, Cowboys fans. It's a little history joke there. But we've already seen this. I don't need to see any more. I'm also curious to see if the two oldies, the linemen, retire. Burrow got smoked. Dak played his best game yet. Pollard played his best game yet. Receiving, Lamb actually played well, but not his best performance, which is crazy because he's just played so well. Sack totals, pretty tame from our side. Julian Love, and even Henley, back-to-back games pretty much. He's been killing in the postseason. Doing well. Jordan Love was that's Julian Love. Really, really good signing for us. He's like 88 zone or something like that. He's really good. He's a superstar. What a dude. What a guy. 41-10. What was the yard difference? Yeah, the turnovers, man. That'll kill you. But that is going to be it. We're going to take a look at our players and call it a rebuild. Hopefully it's a little bit on the shorter side. With my talking, especially in that first season, I can't imagine it will be, but why not look at it? Obviously, we're going to take a look at the retirements, if there are any in the future. I don't really care about the non-real-life linemen. Tyler Smith is a real-life lineman. They developed him as a guard, which I can't blame him because he was supposed to be for some time, but yeah, finesse definitely lacking, sadly. Definitely lacking. We just looked at Laporta. We just looked at Lamb. Pollard probably didn't go up too much since the last time we seen him, but 93 speed, 97 excel. He's really good, but played like trash, I will admit. Dak Prescott. Let's take a look at Dak Prescott. He is 91 throw power in the 90s. Like I said, basically like a stronger, higher dev Kirk Cousins, which is not bad, but it's kind of where he is in the game right now. Wicks, route running's pretty iffy. Release is amazing though, so he's a little raw, but if he had more chances as an actual starter, maybe he'd be that guy. Dane, we already looked at. Harrison. Dane, what is his abilities? 90 power moves. So you do have those dual styles. It's not just, block shed only. Horton never had a chance, so I'm not going to worry about it. Diggs never got to X Factor, which is a bit of an L, but nearly 99 zone, still 79, man. The game never goes slot upgrades. If they went at slot upgrade, every corner would be 99 in the game. I swear they would. Corners in general, though, speaking of, really didn't develop for us in this one, especially those rookies. Julian Love was great, 88 zone coverage. I mean, talk about just a sneaky important player for this team. Parsons, obviously, I'm curious to see how he turned out. Block shed never went up, but power move and finesse is great. Yeah, this is not how I would upgrade him. I would not upgrade his other power, other pass rush moves. Get that block shed up, get the coverage up. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Henley, I guess we'll look at Okereke. He actually turned out to be pretty good. 29 years old. Solid block shedding, solid zone coverage for a middle linebacker, really good tackling, fast as hell. And then the final piece, I suppose, is Henley. Kind of a weird name to drop, but 83 overall Henley. No block shed, but 87 zone. Maybe play him at safety if you can't find someone new. But that's going to be it. If you guys enjoy this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. It means a ton to me. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support. Really appreciate you in general if you made it to this point in the video at all. Maybe you skipped. Maybe you just wanted to see what would happen. Not going to tell you. You're going to have to go back slightly, figure it out yourself. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for rebuilds in the future, I think we're going to do some sort of fantasy draft rebuild next. I don't know if that's Saturday or not. Like I said, I have that new series I want to drop at some point. I just kind of wanted to build up a few videos just in case, you wanted to run a couple in a row. But I don't know if that's going to happen, so I'm just going to probably upload it on Saturday. Something on Saturday, either another rebuild or a series start probably. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it. Second channel, PKR Plays. Twitter.com/Jeromepkr for tweets. That's about that. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!